Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game UX Summit online this year. Thank you so much for being here. You're over 300. It's pretty amazing to have you here. Yeah, so we still could not do a on-site version of the Game UX Summit this year. Hopefully next year is going to be okay. So hanging there for some announcements all throughout the day. So I don't know where you're coming from. You can just say in the chat where you're from. I am in Los Angeles, California, so it's 7 a.m. here, a bit early. So I'm going to try to connect my neurons so that we can run this even smoothly. So yeah, just please make sure to take a look at the code of conduct and respect the code of conduct. I would very much appreciate if anyone seeing something not okay to let me know directly in the chat so that I can do something about it. But usually we only have lovely people here, so I'm not worried at all. But it is important to stay open, and we can definitely have some conversations and have constructive criticism, but it's really important to respect everyone, and especially we're going to have some students twice today, so we're going to start with a ask us anything session right now. We're going to have another one, and some students or young professionals who want to get to Game UI is going to share some of the material. So I really appreciate it if you could be very benevolent, and you can provide some guidance in the chat if you want, but it's important to be encouraging them. All right, so what else can I tell you? This is just a event that I'm running by myself with all the lovely volunteers that are helping me out. All the speakers and panelists they're gonna see today, they're all volunteering their time. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all the work you're doing every time when we're doing this summit. So yeah, I think we're just gonna kick it off with the first Ask Us Anything session. A few people have asked me if it's recorded. Yes, it is recorded. That's actually the reason why you're paying a fee to watch the session, because the fee is gonna help me pay for the closed captioning. So we're gonna make some closed captioning before posting the videos on YouTube. So it's gonna take a few weeks, depending also on my workload in the upcoming weeks. And if there's any remaining monies, I will give it donated to a game dev charity. So let me know if you have any other questions. Feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section. All questions, let's see. You can upvote and comment all questions. I just changed the setting right now. That's done. What else do I have on my checklist? That's about it. So I think I'm just going to welcome our panelists for this first session, Ask Us Anything. So please welcome on stage Antonella Sassu, Charlotte Armand, Giuseppe Granata, Marc Sodermanns, and Adam Sullivan is sick, sadly, so he couldn't make it this morning. So Adam, if you're listening to us, I hope you're getting better. I hope you're not listening to us and just taking care of your health. And yeah, so our panelists, you can turn on your videos now and come up with me. I'm going to let each panelists take 2-3 minutes to introduce themselves. And then I'm going to get 2 students on stage, one after the other, to show us their material so we can take a look and provide some guidance. And I'm going to turn off the recording once we're getting to that point, so that it's going to be more relaxing for everyone. All right, see, I see Antonella on my screen right now. So hi, Antonella, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so the burden to be the first. Yeah, so nice to meet you all. My name is Antonella Sassu. I'm the lead UX and natural motion games, which is a Zynga company. I'm currently working in the racing team, in the CSR2 franchise, and working to another very exciting project that we're going to announce next year. We are looking for UX people, so just double check the website for applications, because there will be interesting new position open. So my background, I come from social science. It has been a bit of a zigzag before discovering human-computer interaction and the interaction design environment. So starting from social science, I arrived to the path of design. And I come from the mainstream industry. So even if I have more than 10 years experience in UX, I've been working mainly as in different industries like financial, like health, and so on and so forth. But then my heart was leading me to games. It's not that easy to have a job in game, especially when you are senior already, because you have this kind of natural scene of not knowing anything about the industry from the inside. So when I've got into the industry, I was so happy, and now I think I will never leave it anymore because I really like it. So nice to meet you all. I'm this kind of UX that doesn't come from UI. I do UI, but that's not my main background.
Thank you so much, Antonella. Next on my list, I have Giuseppe. Am I saying this right?
Yeah, you are saying correctly. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Celia for making this happen. I know it was a lot of work on your side, and it's greatly appreciated by everyone. So I'm the lead experience designer at Black Forest Games in Germany. I'm working on the Destroy All Humans franchise, which has been very exciting. And just like Antonella Studio, we're also looking for UX and UI designers. So feel free to check the Black Forest Games website as well, or just shoot me a DM on LinkedIn. I'm always willing to share knowledge, talk video games, and just have a conversation, because I think it's very important in our community that we talk together and share the things we learn. I started UX as a problem solver in a pretty big fashion retailer in Germany, where I was trying to solve problems for people so that the processes could be more streamlined. And while I was doing this, I was always playing video games, and I thought, hey, how can I apply this to video games? So I started studying. I did a UX course, and then when I applied for jobs, I felt like I was really fitting in, and then I ended up at Black Forest Games, which feels like a home. So I'm really happy, and I'm really excited to be here with everyone and to meet everyone also.
Thank you so much for being here. Then I have Marc. Hi, Marc.
Hello, and good morning or good day, depending where you are. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Marc Sodermanns, and yeah, thank you all for joining today, and thank you especially Celia for inviting me and running this. As already said, pretty much appreciated. So yeah, currently I work for Massive, a Ubisoft studio in Malmö, Sweden. And I work as the lead UX designer, working on Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, AAA title from Disney and Lightstorm. And I am in the industry since 2008. So I studied graphic design and later game design, and first worked as a motion designer, then later transitioned to game design. And since 2011, I've been working in UX and also UI design. I manage and lead teams since 2019. And besides that, I'm also doing some freelance work as an art director. I work for companies like Electronic Arts, Ubisoft Massive and Ubisoft Minds, gained some experience in advertising, post-production and interactive media agencies. And games I worked for include, as I already said, Avatar, then also Need for Speed Heat, Skull and Bones, and for mobile, Football Empire. And worked on some browser games such as Might and Magic, Heroes Online and Cultures Online. And yeah, in general, I like to write articles about game and UX design topics. I also give some trainings and some lessons, and yeah, just share my knowledge. So yeah, and for Massive as well, if you're interested to join us at Massive, feel free to reach out to me or via our webpage at massive.se. That's me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Marc. So Marc and Giuseppe and anyone who has links, actually, it would be really great if you could cut and post it on the chat directly so that the attendees can click on them. So if you have the job post directly, that would be great, or just the overall website so that people can click on it directly. Sweet. Next up, I have Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much, Celia, for organizing this. And thank you all for being here. So yeah, my name is Charlotte. I'm French, but based in Montreal. So I have a bit of an opposite background as everyone here, as I started UX research in games, and now I transitioned to other grounds, let's say. So yeah, right now I'm a customer journey researcher at Unity. If you've heard of Unity. So we are like a brand new research team, and we still need to really define what our processes and like field of research will be. But basically, it's more of exploratory research and trying to shape the product's roadmap even before they enter production. So it's very different from user research. And how I stumbled into user research was completely per chance, actually, because I studied in theoretical physics, and I came to Montreal looking for a programming job. I wanted to work in video games because it seems so fun and plenty of possibilities. And per chance, I got a job interview in user research at a company named Gameloft. And basically, there were no user research at all there. And I got the job, and with my manager at the time, we built a department from the ground up. It was very difficult at first to collaborate with the game designer, because they felt we were kind of competing with them, and we had to do a lot of advocating for research, a lot of promotion for our own work. And it was also very rewarding, because at the end we were able to set up clear objectives, clear roadmap for research, to see also the added value of our work. I think one of the titles we worked on, and that just went out live a few weeks ago, was Lego Star Wars Castaway, for example. And yeah, and now I transitioned to Unity, and it's a whole different challenge, but I really enjoy it. So that's about me.
Thank you, Charlotte. And last up, Katherine. Hi, Katherine.
Hi, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to join this part of the panel.
Yes,
Celia.
of course you can.
Okay,
You don't want to.
No, it's fine. I'm glad to. I'm actually an academic. I'm a professor of computational media at the University of California, Santa Cruz. And I'm going to mention a little bit later in the end of this panel that Celia and I have been working on something really wonderful together. And I'm just so grateful she brought us all together for this conversation.
Yay, teasing. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm gonna call the first student. So I'm sure I'm not gonna say that right. It's gonna be Irene Undegger. So if you can raise your hand, and then I'm gonna turn you into a panelist, and hopefully this is gonna work. In the meantime, before I do that, if anyone, so it's a Ask Us Anything panel. So feel free to ask us any of the questions that you have, put it in the Q&A sections, and you can upvote those questions. We will look at the questions and answer them all throughout this this panel. So you can ask any of the questions that you have, and we will answer that maybe at the same time as we look at some portfolios, depending on if the question is tied to what we're seeing, or afterwards, after the two people I presented the material. All right, I'm gonna turn off the recording before see. All right. So thank you so much again for the two people who presented their material. Does someone want to do like a kind of big bullet point, like the takeaways for you know, how to present your resume and your portfolio? Antonella, Katherine, you said like very big, high level stuff that I think would be great if you want to just like do the takeaways.
Yeah, at the same time I was answering the questions, so
sorry.
I have missed something, but there is no one solution fits all, right? I guess you need to read the job description, and what I was saying in the chat was you need to understand the UX maturity of the companies you're applying for, and question what kind of UX they're looking for, because at the moment our profession is very fragmented. If you want, many people more focus on users, which it should be, my opinion, and while other mostly into UI. So the thing is communication, you know, when you are presenting your portfolio, you are presenting yourself. You don't have time, it's your only chance, so you need to impress. Not nice to say, but it doesn't mean you need to lie. So you need to convey a message in the short time possible, something that stays with the reader. So this is why I say do UX on your portfolio, convey the MVP message first if you want, and then provide a door for the depth if they want to see further on that. So that might be a takeaway from this.
I can just chime in that I tell my students to take the position of an eager to learn but already on board teammate in how you present your work. So I think some of the feedback people gave is, you know, use the right language, show your process. Like people are trying to decide if they're going to feel comfortable to work with you and if you're ready to jump in and be a great colleague. So that's something people don't always think about with portfolio. They're trying to really show off their skills, but it's also showing off, you know, your process and your collegiality and like how you are as a person in some way, whether through the words of your resume or through the styling of your portfolio.
All right. There were a lot of questions. I hope I see there's just some open questions. I'm going to answer them by typing a bit later. So thank you so much again for everyone for participating. We're running a bit late, so Catherine's going to have less time to make the big reveal like she wants to do. Giuseppe, Marc, Antonella, Charlotte, thank you so much again for participating. And now we're going to move on to Katherine.
It helps if I unmute. So I am very excited that Celia asked me to come and present this. This is a labor of love that we've been working on together. We've updated game usability. And this is a book I know some people may have seen many years ago. It was kind of the first book out there about game user research practice. And I had been meaning for years to update this book, and lucky me, Celia agreed to co-edit this and put her tremendous passion into this project. And it is truly a transformed book that I think will be appealing to many. So there are actually 12 entirely new chapters out of the 20 that are in the book and 16 new interviews. And one thing that we did was really bring the book more close to the present in terms of, for one thing, foregrounding UX, and you can see that in the subtitle now, and talking about not just UX and design, but also how it fits into the game production pipeline. Topics like game analytics and data science that are, of course, really huge now. Many important topics that we didn't touch on in the first edition: bias, trust and safety, inclusion, accessibility, culturalization in addition to localization, and then picking up on new trends in games since the first edition, such as the rise of esports, the notion of the metaverse. You know, we had VR back in the day, but now it's actually something. We're heading into AR being something. We even touch on blockchain and AI in a couple of our interviews. And we have a really lovely chapter on the history of game user research, which I think is really quite nice. It's an incredible roster of authors. I noticed some of them are in the audience today. And so, you know, congratulations to you. The book is going to be out the door soon. Really interesting group of people, really wonderful perspectives, both from industry, companies large and small, and also from the academic world. And it should be available February 7th. That's what it's saying on the website. I know this is recorded. I'm sure Celia will be sharing this URL to you all. And you know, Celia is a fantastic updater on Twitter. So I have no doubt she's going to keep everybody updated about what's happening with the book. And with that said, this is really just what I wanted to share with you. And, you know, I look forward to hearing your perspectives on this volume. Aha, I will paste the link to the pre-order into the chat. Indeed, I will do that right now. Oh, Celia, your mic is unplugged again for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
All
there
right.
you go.
So I've been talking in the void. Yeah, so I was saying when I received Catherine's email asking me if I wanted to participate, I was like, are you kidding me? So I got into the game industry. This was, you know, one of the few books that we had. So I could not believe that. So it's such a great honor for you. So I hope that you're gonna like it. Yay.
Yay.
All right. So thank you so much again, Katherine. I'm gonna move on to our next speaker.